Hi Stampers, happy Tuesday. I had to quickly restart my iPad because it wasn't connecting to the internet for some reason. Now I've got it on here, so I will be able to see people's comments if they get on chat. I hope somebody will get on chat because that's what makes it fun. Well, I guess it's going to get on. Look, it's just spinning. There, now it's on. All right, let me get this up here. All right, so I've got a really fun card to do tonight, and I'm excited about that. Went with my husband today. We had to drive to the next little town over east from us to get his first dose of the vaccine. So glad about that, and just waiting for my turn to happen for that. All right, so thanks for joining me. My name's Jana. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I am going to be putting a card together for you tonight. Let me switch this around here. There we go. Here is the address to my shopping site. You might just want to purchase something after you see the card we're making tonight. You never know. And if you do, please be sure to use this hostess code. This is good for March, and it is good for orders under $150, okay? You will also be able to find this code on the landing page when you get to my shopping site. You just have to scroll down a little bit, and it should be highlighted in green. So you can copy and paste it there. There's a box at the checkout process that will be there that you can put that code in. Okay, so the stamp set I'm going to use tonight is this Cutie Patootie Springtime Joy, and I'm using the Adorable Lamb out of this, and this sentiment right here. And then I'm also using the dies from the Hippo and Friends dies. Now these dies go along with the Hippo Happiness set, which is a really fun set. And you could make some cute Easter cards with this set if you wanted, because it's got this really cute lamb and butterflies and things, so you could definitely do a springy type Easter card with that. I'm not using any of the stamps, but what I love about the coordinating die set are all these awesome label dies that are in here. So I'm going to be using the two largest of these dies here, but as you can see, there's some really cool other label dies. These two are stitched dies. This one's not, but they all kind of have a double border on them. And then the other dies in this set cut out the elements of the stamp set, and then there's that fun one there that you can kind of use for a grassy hill, or you know, whatever you want to use it for. All right, let's get started. The cardstock colors tonight are so pretty. I'm using Blushing Bride, and then I'm also using Cinnamon Cider because I'm using this gorgeous designer series paper. Let me show you the pack. There are 3 main colors in this pack, and I will open it so you can see. It's called Love You Always Specialty Designer Papers because it's got that pretty foiling on it. So this is the pattern here on the top that I'm using, and that is the color in that is the Blushing Bride. And then here, this one is Rococo Rose, and it's got a different color of foiling. It's a pink foil on that. And then this one is the Sahara Sand, and it's got like a silver foiling on it. So great paper, so pretty. And these are in the current mini catalog, or you can find them there online. And again, it's called Love You Always Specialty Designer Series paper. Hi, Donna. Thanks for joining me. Oh, I'm on later tonight because I've been waiting for Ken to get home so he can watch the dogs for me, and I don't have to worry about what they're doing while I'm doing my live video. So just trying to make it work. And Tula's getting much better now. She's 5 months old now. So it's getting much better for me to come in here and spend time in my stamp room. I was just thinking about that earlier, that I should be able to be going back to my normal record, or my normal video times, I think, because she's doing so much better. I spent a lot of time in my room today, and she just came in here and slept in one of the little beds. So I will probably, maybe even by Friday, I can go back to doing my normal times. Okay, so this card style, I can't think of what this fun fold is called, but it's one I've done several times. I really like it. And the measurement on this paper, oh, thank you, Donna. She is cute. She's a little spitfire, that's for sure. So we've got 4 1/4 here this way, and then the paper measures 8.5 inches here. And then you score it at 3 inches. So when this gets folded at the score line, it makes it our A2 size of 4 1/4 by 5.5. So again, it's 8.5 inches long by 4 1/4, and then scored at 3. Okay. And I am just going to give that a good burnish there with my bone folder. Now for the inside, I have this piece of cinnamon cider, and it's cut at 4 inches by 5 1/4. So it's going to layer right in here like this. And then I have another piece of the Blushing Bride, and it's cut at 3 3/4 by 5. And this piece here, I'm going to run through an embossing folder. Now, the embossing folder that I'm using is the Stylish Scroll. It is retired, but you could use whatever embossing folder you want. If you have one with little flowers on it, there's one kind of like that right now available. It's in the annual catalog, and it's a really cute embossing folder. I just don't happen to have it. So that's why I decided to use this one. So I've put it in my folder, and I usually try to line them up with this line right here, just so that I know that my paper's in there sort of straight. And I'm going to go ahead and run this through my machine real quick. Okay, so here you can see it's nicely embossed. And you don't, excuse me, you don't have to emboss this inside piece. I just think it adds that element of texture and kind of elegance to this card. So I'm going to go ahead and put these pieces together. You can use whatever adhesive you like. My goodness, it got so dark here where I live today at around 3 o'clock this afternoon. I had been in here playing around and I noticed all of a sudden that it was getting dark, and I went out and I had to turn lights on in my house. It was that dark. It was so strange, but it was a storm coming, and so then it really started raining and stuff. So that was the reason, but I couldn't believe how dark it had gotten. Okay, so this is just going to, you're going to want to center it inside of where this score line is. So you can kind of forget about that piece over there and just center it inside here. All right, there we go with that. And then on this panel, I have cut the same kind of layers as far as I've got the cinnamon cider, so it's 1/4 of an inch smaller. This is 3 by 4 1/4. This panel right here. So this is 2 3/4 wide by 4. So we'll put that on, and then this would be 2 1/2 wide by 3 3/4, and this is that designer series paper. Now the flowers go all kind of directions on here, so you don't have to worry too much about the direction that you're going to put this down. And I don't think I'm going to worry about it too much at all, because I've got flowers coming from the top and going up from the bottom. So that's the only thing you want to keep in mind, is making sure of the direction, the pattern direction on your paper. And you want to get this as centered as good as you can, because you want to line it up with the piece that we just put on the inside, and make sure that it kind of matches so that it will be pleasing to the eye. So if anyone knows the name of this fun fold, just leave a comment and let me know, because I don't know. All right. And so I'm just trying to make sure that I'm matching it up as best as I can, so that line is running even. Okay, so that paper is just so gorgeous. So you can see there how with that foil paper and then this piece being embossed, it just really gives it that kind of elegant look to it. Okay, so we're kind of done with this for right now. I'm going to set that aside. And then here, what I have done is I have cut a piece and scored and folded it. Now let me burnish it. I just measured my die and put it on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a card with this die. And so in order to do that, I need to put the die over the edge, the folded edge there a little bit, and then it won't cut. It won't cut where it's over the edge of the folded card, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to, and what I'm doing is can you see how you can kind of see the paper underneath there? That's where I gauged it. So that's going to be the only place where this card connects. That'll be the spine right there. And I'm just going to hold that down with some Post-it tape. And there you can see that the cut edge is hanging over that fold. And I'm going to run this through my machine real quick. Okay, I ran it through one time, and I want to see, yes, it cut through. That's the only thing you want to make sure is that, because you're going through two pieces of paper, that you want to make sure that it went through both pieces, and it's just sticking there where I had the tape. Then this part is just a little bit tricky because they are now stuck together because of that die really crimped it because of the stitching along the edge. So it just takes a second here to kind of work the two layers apart. They will come apart. It just takes a little finagling. There. If you kind of bend it a little bit, you can hear that stitching pop apart. So there is the fold of our card. So that works pretty slick. And this is going to go on the front, and you'll see what we're going to do there in just a second. So then I've got some other scraps here. And I'm going to cut all of these three pieces. I've got one for the inside of this little card that's going to have the sentiments. So I've got Very Vanilla that we're going to cut that one with. I've got this piece of that designer paper, which is a little bit thinner than our cardstock. So I'm going to cut the same die there onto this other piece of Blushing Bride and back it to this one just to give it some sturdiness, because I'm going to want to pop this layer up. So I'm just going to cut all three of these out real quick, and I will be right back. There is that pretty one. There's one more and just one to go. All right. think we are done with the die cutting. So what I'm going to do is just take a little bit of my Tombow liquid glue here, and I am going to glue that specialty paper on top of this cardstock piece. And using the liquid glue just gives you that little bit of wiggle room to shimmy it into place. So that's looking pretty even, I'd say. So that's good. We can set that aside. And then this is going to be the greeting for the inside of the card. And I'm going to stamp it with the Easter is a lovely reminder of new beginnings. And I'm going to use Early Espresso for that. There we go. And I can leave that out because I'm going to use it again here in a second. So I'll just set those pieces aside, and then we can stamp the cute little lamb. I've got that mounted up on my Stamparatus there. And I just have a scrap piece of very vanilla to stamp that on. So I just need to get it lined up here where I want it. I want to leave a little bit of room to put the magnet down. So that is looking pretty good, I think. All right, and I'm going to ink the lamb up here. Let me get the stamp case, and I'll put under the glass. It just gives it a little bit of stability here when you're inking up your stamp. But I'm inking it up with the same color that I stamped the greeting with, which is the Early Espresso. And hopefully one inking here will just be enough, but we'll see. I think that looks good. So you had a gorgeous day, Donna. I'm hoping that I haven't looked at the weather report for tomorrow, but I hope we will be back to having some sun tomorrow. Tomorrow I am taking my sister to get her first dose of the vaccine, but we got an appointment for her to do that right here in our town, so we don't have to go out of town for that. All right, now going to do a little bit of coloring. It looks like maybe we're going to do a lot of coloring, but it's actually going to go really fast. So I'm just going to use ivory. This Stampin' Blends combo pack comes with ivory, and then there's one called, I believe, copper. And those two colors come together in a pack. All the other ones come with a light and dark version of whatever shade you buy. So I am just going to do some really simple shading here on the lamb. very simple. I'm not even going to blend this out. But I think in the end it looks pretty cute. And I'm just going to go under all these little puffs of the lamb's wool. This lamb is just so cute. All the images in this set are. There's no dies for it, but the main images in this set are really easy to cut out. But there are some smaller ones that would be a little bit fussy. Okay, I'm using light smoky slate to color the feet, or hooves, however you say it. Is it hooves or hoofs? I don't know. I should know that. All right. Now then, I'm going to color the cheeks. This is dark petal pink, so don't get too nervous when you see this, because this color is going to lighten up and turn into the prettiest shade of pink for the cheeks. But it doesn't look the best right now, but it's going to look good in a minute. Okay, and now I'm going to color the flowers and leaves here, and I'm using the light and dark Rococo Rose and the light and dark Old Olive. All right, so I'm going to start with the light. And I'm going to color the big flower here. And Rococo Rose is that other pink color that's in that specialty paper. And then this is the dark Rococo Rose. And then we just have the leaves to do. I'm going to color all the leaves to begin with the light Old Olive. And then I will come back with the dark and just put a little dark here and there. So I am just going to touch it with this a little bit here and there, nothing fancy, but it'll give it just the right amount of shading on these leaves. There we go. And then I'm just going to cut this little lamb out. And for somebody that doesn't really like to do much cutting or fussy cutting, it sure seems like I do my share of it. It's just not my favorite thing, but you know, you do what you gotta do. And when they're not real intricate, you know, it's not bad at all. I don't mind it. It's just things that are super, super intricate that, because it makes me nervous, I think that's why. Some people say that it's very relaxing for them to fussy cut, but I'm not that person. Okay, that was quick. Oh yeah, I saw that you're going to be moving, Donna. That's awesome. You'll be able to be on one floor and spend time with your stamps again. Okay, we can put this all together now. I'm going to go ahead and put the greeting on the inside of our small card here. And the one thing you want to remember here is that this card is going to, you want the spine of this card to be on the right, and the main part of the card, the spine, is on the left. So it's going to be opening this way. So you want to make sure that you've got it right when you go to put the greeting on the inside. There we go. And then this, you just open up the flap and you're going to center the small card in the middle of this big part right here. So again, you want to make sure you've got your greeting where you want it there. So this is just going to go in the middle as best as you can get it right here. I mean, you could always measure, but eyeballing it works pretty good, I think. And then you just kind of want to make sure that this is perpendicular here to this straight line over here. And then that's going to open, and this is going to go like this. And then this piece is the reason, again, why I backed it with the extra piece of cardstock, was I just wanted it to be a little more sturdy, because I'm going to pop it up there with dimensionals on the front. And I'm using a few. Okay. Now you can kind of turn this around too. You want to get the pattern of the edges right, but I kind of like how the flowers are going there. So I just need to line it up here. I'm not going to push it down till I know that it's where I want it. I think it needs to come over this other way just a bit. And it's because part of the design is, you know, cut off there on the side. So it's going to be just a little bit closer to this edge than it is to this one, but that way it's centered within the design of the piece underneath of it. So there we go with that. And then I'm also going to pop up a little lamb. And then we'll do some embellishing. Too cute. All right, now got a couple of different embellishments here that I'm going to be using. I've got little pearls that I'm going to put in the center of those flowers. This is being a booker there. There we go. So I'm just using my Take Your Pick tool with the sticky end here and picking up those pearls. I'd say this card is a more fancy looking card. Cute. Okay. So there is that. And then I've got the really pretty champagne rhinestones here. And there's 3 different sizes in the pack. So I'm going to start with the biggest one, the biggest size. And I'm going to just put one right here. And then I'll go to the medium one. I'm going to put that one there, and then a small one. There we go. And I think what that does, it just pulls the eye because you've got this gorgeous foiling over here, and then nothing sparkly over here on this side of the card, but adding those rhinestones that look in the same color tone, just, you know, it just evens it out. So what do you think? I think that it turned out really cute. And then it just flips open there. Now, if you wanted to, you could add another piece of the Very Vanilla over here and you could put 2 greetings, or just have it plain if you wanted more room to write there. Or you could put a piece in here to write more of a message there as well. Or you could create a little pocket to glue inside here by just taking a strip of paper and putting some tear and tape or glue on the 3 sides. Cut it maybe a half or a third the size of this, and then you would have a little pocket there to stick money or a gift card in if you wanted. And you know, you can make this card for any kind of an occasion. You don't have to make it be an Easter card. This would make an adorable baby card or baby shower card if you wanted it for that, with that little lamb on there. Or of course you can change that focal point to be whatever you want and make whatever kind of a card. You could put some pretty flowers on it and turn it into a Mother's Day card or a happy birthday card. But anyway, this one in particular is for Easter. And now I have 2 of them because I made one earlier today. And you can see the cheeks are not quite as light yet as they did get on this one, but they will as that dries. So that is my card for today. I will be back live, but over on my Facebook page. So I'm JannaStamps here on YouTube, and I am also JannaStamps on Facebook, so you can find me there. I will be on Friday, and I'm going to shoot for 2 o'clock in the afternoon. That's my normal time that I come on Friday. So I'm going to try to go ahead and shoot for 2 o'clock on Friday, and fingers crossed that will work out with the puppy and the other dogs. So yeah, come visit me over there on my Facebook page. Otherwise, I will post that back up over here to YouTube when the live is over, so you can find me here as well and just watch the replay. All right, thanks so much for joining me, and I hope to see you Friday. In the meantime, happy stamping. Thank you. Bye-bye.